Hey, welcome back to the Infamous Podcast. This is Brian.
This is Darryl.
And I totally messed that up. Darryl, this is episode 524. Netflix broke the Avatar. Sony broke the shelf. One, I just want to, before we even start talking, I'm going to speak for both of us here. Darryl and I are obsessed with Noah Max 5 on YouTube. If anybody who listens and knows Noah Max 5, please have him reach out to us. We want to talk to him about Avatar.
I don't even know what to say, man.
I want to do an imitation of him, but I can't even do it.
I don't. I'm not going to even try.
No, it's just he's perfect in every way.
Yeah. He exudes what our pain would have been if we watched this season.
Yeah. By the way, Noah, thank you for watching the season for us, because I rage quit 7 minutes into the first episode and took it off of my list.
There is no, unless somebody pays me well, there's no way I'm watching that season. I'm just not.
No.
Again,
I know we said we were going to talk about it, and we'll get to it. We're not
going to talk about it.
No. We said we were going to review it. We were like, we're going to come back. We're going to review Avatar. And then, no. Absolutely fucking not. No. Don't watch it. It's bad enough. It's bad enough we have to talk about Supergirl this week.
Yeah, it was bad enough season one, but season one had some positives, but it was bad enough.
I will say, the bending looks great.
Yeah, the bending looks really good.
So, anyway.
Yeah. And the cast, a lot of the casting I like.
Yeah. They needed to kneecap that kid so he couldn't grow. Who's Aang. So he's just too big now. And I'm sorry. Ma'am, the young lady who plays Azula, I'm sorry that they cast you in this role, because you look nothing like what Azula should look like, and apparently you're a sorcerer, according to Noah. But Darryl, before we get into all of this, how are you? Because we are on the cusp of America 250, and I would be remiss if we didn't say happy birthday, America, the land that I love.
Yeah, I mean, stand beside her and guide her.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't, 250. It's just so funny, because when you think about, in the grand scheme of things, that's like an eye blip.
Right.
But at the same time, it's just like where the world has come since then. Mm-hmm. Let it, in many ways, led the charge. This country has led the charge. Regardless of what people that don't like this country think, it's actually incredible that we're getting to see this. And I mean, it would be awesome if our U.S. men's national team could, hey, America, happy birthday, here's a World Cup title. But as long as you make it to the semi, or the quarters, that's awesome, guys.
Right.
So,
and as long as that red card gets overturned.
I saw that, man. That is.
So that official ref, whatever they call them, clowns, is apparently under investigation for fixing matches. So FIFA is the most corrupt sports organization.
1,000.
It makes the NCAA look like it's on the up and up.
There's no question about that. None. Yeah.
I will say, as someone who I'm obviously I always want America to win, but I typically root for the English men's team. But I'm really sad that the math didn't math, where we could have ended up playing England on July 4th in Philadelphia. That would have been amazing. And if the U.S. men's national team doesn't win that game, they get the Columbia treatment. Just, they walk out of the stadium and sorry guys.
I mean, that's a little dark.
Dude, you can't, we've been dominating,
soccer, man.
We've been dominating the English on our soil for
Yeah, but it's
250 years.
I
We
know,
we
but
we don't do L's. We don't do
it's
L's to
soccer. It's
England.
soccer. If it was
Doesn't
like
matter.
football or something like that,
We
but
don't
it's
do we
soccer,
don't do
dude.
L's to England.
I don't care. I
So
don't care enough about soccer for that.
it's treason then. So anyway, um, but no, it is very exciting. Hopefully, your town isn't one of the 100 Democrat cities who have canceled their fireworks displays. If they have, live that rebel spirit. Go buy some fireworks. Let them off. Celebrate America. Um, I did. I sent Darryl the mock-ups. I did put together some America 250 like infamous inspired stuff. So probably next week they'll be hitting our Threadless shop. So if you want to be red, white, and infamous, definitely check that stuff out. I think they look pretty cool. I don't know, Darryl, what do you think?
Oh, I really like them. I actually think I'm going to get a hoodie.
Yeah. So yeah. On that note, do you want to get started?
What are we talking about first? Like,
We're talking about the Evil Empire, Sony PlayStation.
so let's rewind it back a little bit.
Yeah.
Back in 2014, the Xbox, and I think it was the Xbox. Was it Xbox One? The Xbox names are so dumb. I don't. You know what? I don't even care what the name was. But the Xbox gen next gen machine in 2014 came out, and they were the big selling point for them was like, a lot of it's going to be digital and convoluted way of sharing if you could share it all. So what does Sony do with the PlayStation 4 implementation? They're like, you know how easy it is to share our games? And there was two guys, and one guy had a copy of the game and just handed it to the other guy.
Right. It was a great commercial.
Great commercial. Now, fast forward to 2026. Well, technically it'll be 2028.
So
And these dipshits announced.
I'll read the statement if you want.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fast forward to July 1st, 2026, which was yesterday. Sony announces that beginning January 2028, all new PlayStation games will be released digital only, ending production for physical Blu-ray game discs for future releases. Games already released or scheduled for release before the 2028 cutoff will continue to be sold on disc, but every new title afterward will require a digital download through the PlayStation Store or participating retailers. Sony says the decision reflects changing consumer habits, noting that digital purchases now account for roughly 80% of full game sales on the PlayStation.
Yeah. So
Can I, as the more casual gamer between the two of us, can I just say something before you go off? I think the 80% of full game sales for digital is a disingenuous number because Best Buy, Walmart, Target have stopped carrying large amounts of games to go buy. And I'll be honest, I don't really like buying the physical media from Amazon because I don't know if it's real or not. I think there's a lot of counterfeit stuff on Amazon that looks real that isn't. And like there's a lot of times where you'll order like a DVD or a Blu-ray and it's just something, or you'll order a Blu-ray and it's a DVD that somebody just burned, and printed on a regular printer, the cover and or the art, and put it into a sleeve. So I do feel like that number is disingenuous, and I do think Walmart probably has the biggest game selection of any of them still, but it's a far cry from what it was.
So I will add to that. One of the things, and I don't know if it actually shows this. Does it take into those numbers take into account the secondary market? And even if it didn't, you know what? Fine. And there's also, even now, there's a lot of games that are digital only. There are plenty of many games that are digital only. No, not any of the first party or third party games, the big ones, but a lot of indie games are digital only because to be fair to the company, it does save costs. And if you're a true indie studio, that is a big thing, saving the cost, because you can save a good amount of money per copy by just doing that. So I get that for an indie studio. Now, with that said, and I'm talking to the people who think this is no big deal because, oh, I buy digital. I've always bought digital. Well, you know what's going to happen now? And there is a perfect example. Somebody posted this, and you can confirm it. You can go to the PlayStation Store and see this. God of War Ragnarok came out 4 years ago. It's on the PlayStation Store for $70. God of War Ragnarok, the physical copy you can get from a GameStop or a Walmart for $30.
Mm-hmm.
Now, take out that secondary market, and what do you have? You aren't going to have those prices. A perfect example of this is you look at. I've been trying to wait for a sale to get Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild for the Nintendo Switch for like 2 years. They don't go on sale.
You can have my copy of Breath of the Wild. I think it's boring and stupid.
But
and I have the physical disc. So.
Yeah. Well, again, that was back then with the Switch. But
right.
yeah, to your point, like you're not going to get that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this is the other thing. We just talked about how Sony is going to just completely delete. We didn't talk about it on the podcast, but where Sony is going to delete September 1st because the licensing agreement with Studio Canal is going bye-bye. Over 500 movies, including movies like Terminator 2, from people's libraries that have purchased it, and there is no word on any type of refund that these people are going to get because, to be technical, it says you're purchasing a license. Right. And so when they do this is not about, and again, like I said before, I concede the point that they will make more money anywhere between, and again, like varies for a $70 game from what I could find, anywhere between $15 and $24. That's a good profit.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not doing it for that. They're doing it for control. Just like Nintendo can switch off and again, they'll be able to do this anytime for any reason, where in the sense of they can cut your access.
Mm-hmm.
They can change the game. And when I say change the game, they can delete the game. They can, or, they can lose licensing for a song in the game and they change the game and you can't do anything about it. Like you go back to some of these Guitar Hero games where they're no longer, around. You can still have because I have the disc for the PS3, but those things are license dependent.
Yeah.
And when you have something like that, you can change it.
Right.
And this is the thing when when I first heard about this, I said, I'm done. I'm seriously done with I'm not getting the PS6 because one, I have so much of a backlog anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But also, if I still want a game, I'll just go PC. And then this is we've talked about how people don't listen or think. Hold on, no, seriously, where people don't think and they're like, oh yeah, PC's been doing digital for years now. It's not about the digital.
Mm-hmm.
It's about owning your game.
Right.
And also, this is the other important part. On PC, you don't just have one avenue. Like with the I'm only going to have one venue to get PlayStation games. It's the PlayStation Store.
Well, I mean, technically Amazon as well, but yes, you're right.
Just the PlayStation Store. Yeah.
The easiest venue will be.
Well,
the
no,
PlayStation
it's
Store.
not like they're not going to sell. Why would they sell codes on the Amazon Store? Because that's another avenue. I'm talking about when they do the digital.
Okay.
Yeah. So
no, I mean you can buy the digital codes, like the digital download off of Amazon.
I know right now, but what
you
is
think
their
it's going to
impetus?
go away altogether?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. And this is the thing with the PC. You have Steam, you have Epic Game Store, you have GOG, which is Good Old Games. Which GOG is the big one. You know why? Because with GOG, they only house games that are DRM, like that don't have the digital rights.
Right.
So when you buy a game on there, you own it forever. You can play it forever. It doesn't matter what happens to the servers. You can play it forever. Now, technically, you can do that with other games before you sail the high seas. There's just a lot more variety on PC. But again, going back to the matter, the fact of the matter is that there are a ton of games that I've never played, and there are a ton of consoles out there. I could get a Super Nintendo.
Hmm.
I mean,
I still have my
I
Nintendo 64, and I got
now
an
I
up converter cable for it, so it plays in HD.
now I well nice. I do see all of those with this. The price of a lot of this stuff is
Hmm.
going to start going up
Yeah.
because people know. But again, it's about control. And those who think it doesn't affect you, step back and just think for a second. Okay, there's no competition, there's no secondary market, there's nobody I can complain to. So if I really want a game, this does affect you.
Hmm.
And the word is that the Xbox code Helix is not going to be shipped with a disk drive either.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming Xbox is going to do the same thing.
Hmm.
So again, this is about control, and companies want control. That's why I think the last digital game I bought, like when I say digital game, I mean full price, because again I bought several games for like $5 and $10
Hmm.
and 20 years. I think a Hollow Knight was $20, and that's one of those indie games. There's no way to buy a physical copy of Hollow Knight unless you go like
Oh,
I know
really?
certain companies do after the fact, but the last one I think it was Tekken 8, which was in 2024 January, came out January 2024. All the games I've bought since then, like all the big budget game or not even big budget, but like games that are over $50, I have a physical copy of. And yes, I have not played all of them,
Sure.
but I have a physical copy of them. And it's the same way with movies. Like if I love a movie enough,
Yeah.
I will buy a copy. I will buy a physical copy of it so I can watch it anytime. I don't have to worry about, oh man, like the internet went out for whatever reason. Oh, they don't have this movie anymore. It's not on streaming. I don't want to go through hoops and buy it digitally,
Hmm.
so I have it there. So this is what is it? You will own nothing and love it.
Yeah.
That's what this is. And there's only one thing these companies understand, and it's voting with your wallet. So do as you will. I will say
I thought
here,
you were going to say the only thing they understand is Luigi Mangione.
no, this is a gaming company. That's anyway, but like
Uh,
I will not be buying a PS6
no.
at, at this moment. Like if this stays the way it is, which I'm confident these people are too dumb to. Well, you know what? I won't even call them dumb. They're just anti-consumer. That's what they are. Again, I don't behoove. I don't. If you want to make money, that's great. If you want to make money above all else, that is where I have a problem with you. Because yes, you're beholden to your shareholders. You're also beholden to your
Right.
customers
Yeah.
and
Well, you
treating your
don't have
customers.
holders if you don't have regular customers.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that is all I have to say about that. I think it's a terrible and the gaming industry as a whole it's not in a good place in like just even prior to this.
Right.
Even prior to the shit going on with Grand Theft Auto, which started a lot of this with them saying they're going to sell physical copies, but there's not a disc in it. It's a digital code.
Yeah. Well, and I
Uh,
mean that's what a lot of it is. It's like a key that you can,
Right. And that's what
you know.
the Switch 2 does. It's the
Yeah.
same thing. It's they sell digital codes and keys where the game is not even on the disc or on the cartridge or whatever. So it's a terrible. It's happening at a bad time. It's also with all the RAM issues going on and the prices. These next gen systems, I think there's an arrogance with these companies,
Yeah.
and they think that well, people are going to buy this anyway. Well, look at your sales for the PS5 versus the PS4. and then come back to me.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't help that the PS5 did not have a great stock of, you know, first, top tier games, like from a standpoint of first party from Sony, like they used to. If you look at the PS4 and all these
Mm-hmm.
first party games versus the PS5, it's night and day.
Yeah.
It's night and day. So it's a bad look. It's a bad thing, and it's gonna. I think honestly, I think the best thing for the video game industry is to fall on its face completely and utterly.
Yeah.
I don't I don't think it necessarily will happen, but there's going to be a lot of shakeups because then Xbox is looking like they're going to be cut, like, closing some more studios, and it's not good. And this might just hasten the demise of game. No, it's hastening the demise of gaming as we know it.
Right.
So what
Well,
happens now,
and
I don't know.
so, like, kind of like to a couple things to think about. So, like, when you're talking about this with your friends and letting people know if they don't know about this already, here are some things you can talk to them about. Do you really own the game? Or are you just purchasing a revocable license, meaning that Sony anytime can revoke it? Which there have been court cases about this, and there's court cases currently going on with Amazon. So that could be something that ends at some point. So just keep an eye out for that. What happens to game preservation when there's no physical copy? Like if someone deletes a file on a server and that game is gone forever,
Yeah.
you know? Um, will digital only distribution lead to higher prices because there's no more retail competition, which means, they don't have to worry about like GameStop selling the used version of the game for $40 when the
Or people
game's
on
still
eBay
70. Yeah,
or
exactly.
Mercari.
Right. Um, is the convenience worth giving up your ownership rights? This is if we can have you take away anything that's happening with the way the world is changing to the digital mindset, is what do you own? What are
Right.
your
Oh,
rights?
that's yes.
So, and then does this set the stage for the PlayStation 6 to become a fully digital platform? Um, Industry analysts are believing so. But what happens to not having that optical drive? Because I'll say this, I love the Blu-ray player within the PlayStations. I have
Oh,
since the
yeah.
PlayStation 3.
That was my first
So,
Blu-ray player.
yeah. And I still have a PlayStation 4 lying around somewhere. And so I'm like, that's still a great Blu-ray player. All right. So while digital downloads are undeniably convenient, the announcement marks the end of an era. Physical media has always given players tangible ownership, resale value, which I think is what Darryl was talking about, lost money making opportunity for everybody, and then long term access to independent of corporate licensing agreements. And Sony's decision may make business sense for Sony, but it shifts control away from consumers and towards platform holders. And this is going to go way beyond gaming.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
so just an anecdote. About 10 years ago, there was one company, that still pressed vinyl records. Now there's over 100. So there is hope.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I did some research, buddy. It's what I do.
Did you know? Yeah. One thing I would also tell people to familiarize yourself with what's going on with Stop Killing Games. Stop Killing Games is a movement that, I mean, before this, that the idea is gaming preservation. What you said about servers, where people have these games they play for years, and then once the servers go off, say a World of Warcraft, which that's not going to be the case because that's a massive seller and massive moneymaker. But say World of Warcraft, they stopped. They're like, okay, we're shutting off the servers September 1st. You don't have a game to play.
Right.
And the idea of Stop Killing Games is to have a preservation of games where, hey, again, going back to the ownership, I buy this game, I should be able to play this game in some form or fashion anytime I want, regardless of what happens with the servers. And this has been going on. I've been kind of following this pretty much the last couple months, but I mean, it's been going on for a while, and these are court cases going on in Europe. One thing I will say about the Europeans is, generally speaking, with stuff like this, with monopolies and gaming, like not gaming, but monopolies and things of that ilk, they are more pro-consumer.
Yeah.
They've shown it in some of the court filings and some of the
Well, I
things they
mean, just with the
require.
GDRP.
Yeah.
So
So, uh, I mean, it's like the stock. I don't know where it sits now, but yeah, it's a sad day. It's sad because, like you said, with some of your points, like that ownership. What do you own?
mm-hmm.
What I mean, what do you truly own? If I spend $70 on something and it's a glorified rental, and again, when people say that, hey, I don't like, because I read a post today where it's like, if 20 years from now, if I lose access to all my digital games, I won't care because
Right.
I'll be older, and that you're missing the point.
Yeah, you don't have those games to hand down to your kids and grandkids to
Yeah,
enjoy.
that's exactly what I was going to
So
say.
sorry.
So,
I did not mean to step on your.
no, but no, you're absolutely right though. Or just a kid you see somewhere, or whatever, or sell it just like in a pack of 10
Mm-hmm.
games, or you can't go to GameStop, or it, people too often only think about the short term, and it's not just with this; it's with so many things in life. And I mean, we've all done that before. Done the short term, and then like think, oh man, why didn't I do this? Because long term, when you step back and you see from a long term perspective,
Yeah.
this is the same way where and I've seen people who say, you know what, I'm not I don't buy physical copies, but I understand why people are upset, and I see how this is going to affect things. So there are people
Like
that don't even
I
that
stopped
understand that.
buying physical copies because I didn't have a room. I have
Right,
room
and that's
now and I can, but I'm like, oh God, I gotta wait.
yeah. But this is the other thing. So, for example, going to books.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a Nook I got in 2012. And I have like 200 plus books on there. Well, 2 years ago, I got an email notification saying basically they are going to stop support of this, and
Mm-hmm.
I won't be able to use my Nook, which is weird. Even though the books are on there, I
Yeah.
would have to to get another Nook. Now, granted, I can use the app, read it on my phone, or
Oh.
what have you. But that's again,
So I have a Kindle that's in that situation, and all I did
right?
was disconnect it from the Wi-Fi. And
Yeah.
so I still have access to everything on there. And
So,
I have access because I jailbroke it. So I
oh,
can,
that's even better.
yeah, so
That's even
I
better.
can like just grab different book types
Now,
and
Now,
put
to
it
be
on there.
fair, like I said, with the app, I can, have all the access. But there are instances where people have, like for PlayStation, for example, because Sony is sometimes very uncooperative when people lose their credentials
Mm-hmm.
and work through hoops and trying to get it back. And people, if you lose your credentials or you lose your password or whatever it is, say you have 100 games, those games are gone,
Right. Right.
gone, never
Yep.
to be returned.
Yep.
So again, it's a thing I think,
Well, there's an
like,
easy way to deal with that is you can back everything up to a hard drive or
yeah.
in my case, a server. Anyway, all right, let's move on. This has been fun, but we'll just keep talking about it and we won't get to bitch about the things we want to bitch about. Speaking of bitching about, Avatar The Last Airbender season 2 is Avatar The Last Airbender in an Egger suit. It's not Avatar The Last Airbender. It's an evil alien that crawled into Vincent D'Onofrio's skin and is wearing it because it's a giant sucking roach inside of a body. And
If you,
also, this is why we can't have nice things.
yes. Like I said, I tried to defend season one. Not even defend it, but just acknowledge what the things it did well or solidly. And I try to, and it's one of those things where it's one thing to when you adapt something.
Mm-hmm.
It's another thing when you adapt something that's iconic,
Right.
something that's one of the best of its genres, and instead of saying, hey, you know what, we're just going to do what they did there, you think you're better than the people. This is why anime works so well.
You think you're better than me?
Yeah, This is why anime works so well, because it takes what the manga does and just makes it animated.
Sure.
It does it, and also what an anime does is, if it catches up to a manga, it doesn't do a Game of Thrones season 7 and 8,
Mm-hmm.
6, 7, and 8. You know what it does? It creates filler episodes that you don't have to watch, or you can watch and just forget about because it doesn't connect to part of the story. Naruto is very well known for having many filler episodes. And while they're fun, sometimes they can be tiresome. But guess what? They don't affect the main story. It's like a side quest in a video game where you can do it if you want, but you don't have to.
Right. Yeah.
Too many of these people think they know better than the original creators. And Netflix is well known for this.
And I'll say this, the original creators were involved with this. They're not involved with this. There's a rumor going around that the reason Brian and Mike left is because they weren't going to do a 100% faithful adaptation. They were going to do their original vision of Avatar: The Last Airbender before it became a more collaborative writer's room. And so I think if you're the creators and you're doing that, and like, hey, this was our original vision, like George Lucas did that with The Star Wars as a comic book, and you watch it and you read it and you're like, yes, this is why you have an editor. So, you know, I would have been interested to see their original vision for it, right? But this is a bastardized thing where they pluck out different parts of the story. The scene where Aang goes into the avatar state and Azula is hiding and like shoots the lightning up through him. Now she's looking at him straight on and uses sorcery for her lightning and just shoots him right in the chest. And they go straight through him. And it's like, this is not, there's a reason he needed to get struck by lightning when she did, right? They ruined Zuko. He's dumb and he's evil.
I don't even know who. Like,
Exactly.
I know Zuko from the cartoon. I have no idea who that is. Right.
So we've talked about this. Zuko alone is my favorite episode of the whole Avatar: The Last Airbender series. It is one of the greatest examples of what you can do in 26 minutes of character development for a single character narratively. And it started from him. He was going to like steal this bag of supplies from a pregnant lady and her husband. And he ended up not. He ended up bringing them back food later on. In this one, he steals the bag. Of course, she doesn't have a husband now. She's there with her sister. So,
of course,
of course. But she's Asian, not black. So I thought that was weird because, Asian families number one for mom and dad in the household in the world. Just odd choice, guys, like, okay. There's a lot of blaming of Iroh for not becoming the Fire Lord when because Liu Ten died. He's introduced to the White Lotus, not the Grand Lotus of the Grand Lotus, Lodi, however you say it. Zhang gets beaten up with people with a stick. One of the greatest fighters in the world gets beaten up by people with a stick. Toph can write, which, if you remember from the cartoon, Toph can neither read nor write because she's been blind her whole life. Let's see what else. Oh, her mom found out she was an earthbender because she found her in the street with the Avatar gang, not because her dad and her earthbending teacher watched her dismantle the boulder and then the rest of the, I guess, luchadors. And then her teacher's looking on like, I taught her that. And it's like, what is wrong with you? Toph has a ton of hubris. Don't get me wrong, right? but she is not evil like this version of Toph is. Oh, also when Umashu gets taken and they have Boomy in the metal crate, this time he's just in a big metal room that he can wander around in, and he can get close enough to the wall where he could like definitely earthbend.
I said earlier a few minutes ago when we were talking about the gaming stuff, how people look at the short term and they don't step back and look at long term.
Yeah.
This is what writers do in Hollywood now. They think of an idea, or they completely bastardize an original idea from someone else and say, "Hey, this would be cool." They don't think, what are the what is the effects of what I'm going to do with this scene, for the characters involved, for the overarching story, for the overarching things. They don't think that far ahead. We'll talk about this when we talk about Supergirl, because the same thing happens with Supergirl, in the sense of, you didn't think this idea through, did you?
No.
And don't tell me you did, because you wouldn't have had what we had. Wouldn't have had this. I don't even know what to call what this is with Avatar. Like, I am almost to the point of saying, bring M. Night Shyamalan's version back. That is how bad this is. Yes, I know. I watched that, and yes,
not Avatar.
that is how bad this Netflix one is.
Yeah. Well,
Even
you know
though
what
I
I
do like
have
the
to say?
casting.
I have to say, fuck you, Albert Kim. Fuck you, Jabbar Rassani. Fuck you, Dan Lin. Fuck you, Lindsay Libator. Fuck you, Michael Gow. Fuck you, Kristen Boylan. Fuck you, Ryan Halpern. And fuck you, Brendan Ferguson. They're the executive producers.
You had a lot off your chest there.
Yeah. You know what these people need to do is they need to fall in a hole and have the big creature that was bearing down on Sokka when he was playing with its baby while he was stuck in the hole. So, and no Aang to save him with actual earthbending, not whatever the shit is. But yeah, no, this is like I take this personally because like Avatar is one of my favorites. Like it's up there with Dune. It's just barely behind Star Wars.
Like I said, this is one of the best shows of this genre. And when I say genre, I don't mean like fantasy. I mean animation. I mean all of that. Like the storytelling in that show in 4 seasons.
3.
Oh no! I thought Avatar. No, Korra was 4. Korra was 4.
And Korra, I love Korra. I love Korra. Like
I still haven't watched
even
Korra.
with everything that happened at the end of Korra, like with the gay stuff, like it doesn't take away. It really doesn't. It was shoehorned in, because it was that time when things were getting, quote unquote woke. But it's more funny than anything that they both dated the same guy and they're like, oh, let's just be a couple. Like that's how they should have handled it. They're like, oh yeah, dude, Mako sucks. Let's hey, let's go travel spirit world together. Let's see where this crazy road takes us. But yeah, it's just the casting for Sokka was perfect. The girl that plays Katara is sufficiently annoying and retarded. Gordon Cormier as Aang, like other than the fact that he hit a growth spurt and they should have broke his kneecaps, like he looks the part. Dallas Liu looks like Zuko,
Yeah.
I think that's great. Paul Sun Hung as Uncle Iroh is there we go. And Daniel Kim as Ozai. I mean, come on. That's fucking spot on.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Like I said, the casting, is
Elizabeth
for the most
Yu,
part really good.
no.
Who's that?
Azula, like she's not the girl that we were hiding cupcakes from at Fat Camp. So, I'm sorry, that was mean.
That was very mean.
But Azula is disciplined.
It's not her fault she was cast.
It isn't. You're right. It's not, and it's also not her fault that the people making the show weren't like, let's whip you into shape so you look like you're a badass.
But she doesn't act like it. That's the problem.
No, she's petulant.
That's the biggest
and
thing.
she's a
Yes.
sorcerer.
Yeah. You're gonna keep using that, aren't you?
Dude, it's amazing. Like fucking Noah Max 5, guys. You gotta check out Noah Max 5. Um, but yeah, it's just, and even the girl that plays Toph, she looks like Toph. She's like this tiny little badass, like just aura farmer. Again,
Yeah, and
thank you, Noah
apparently she
Max
has a hard,
5.
apparently
So
with the contact, she has a very hard time
she
seeing.
can't see, and she has a
Yeah,
blindness coordinator on staff,
yeah,
which I think is
that's really cool.
hilarious that they have a blind guy trying to show a blind person how to act.
That's funny. But
Oh, it is funny. Anyway, it's a bullshit show. Don't watch it. Cancel your Netflix
yeah,
subscription.
if you want to watch a cool show that's of that ilk, One Piece, all day.
Yeah, or just cancel your Netflix subscription and go
Or that.
buy the Blu-ray of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and
Yep, I have the
own it.
Blu-ray right here.
Anyway, so Farscape, right?
Yes.
So when Farscape first came out on DVDs, it was like 4 episode packs, right? And like I had all of them. I had all 22 of them for the whole series. And then they put out the box set, so I got the box set. And then I got the Blu-ray set for free because when we were at sciencefiction.com, right? And then I bought the digital.
Oh God, dude.
Now, the same goes for Lord of the Rings.
Okay, yeah, I can't talk now.
Hold on, wait. So I have the theatrical versions, I have the extended versions, I have the digital theatrical versions, and I have the digital extended versions.
Yeah,
Oh,
I have that for Blu-ray.
yeah. I don't have the
and
Blu-rays.
DVD, and then I only have the theatrical version,
Yeah.
extended version. No,
Dude.
actually, the one I have for 4K are both too. So they just don't have the 4K that I got. It just doesn't have all the special features.
Okay. Anyway, but yeah, just avoid this show. Let's talk about something we like. How about that?
Yeah, it's going to be sandwiched in between something we don't.
Hey,
Well,
look, we're really negative this episode. I apologize. We're trying to have fun with it. We're making jokes, maybe body shaming some young actresses.
Not
who
me.
who knows? This is a very Darryl centric episode. Just keep that in mind. So here we are, House of the Dragon,
Oh,
HBO
the bus is
Max.
coming. Oh, what's this in my back? Oh, your hands. Oh, I'm out in the middle of the street now.
There's a knife in there too. Anyway.
Make sure the job is done.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I leave nothing to chance. I'm like NASA. My backups have backups. Because if the bus doesn't do its job, it's also backing up. Anyway, on that note, season 3, episode 2, The Queen's Gambit, written by Andre Perec. I don't know. Directed by Andre Perec, written by Sarah Heiss. So following the devastating Ballad of the Gullet, Rhaenyra's grief quickly turns into resolve as Team Black moves to seize King's Landing. Alicent secretly conspires to surrender the city in hopes of saving part of her family, while Daemon returns to continue the campaign. This episode marks a major turning point for the Dance of Dragons as alliances finally shift, old loyalties collapse, and Rhaenyra finally claims the Iron Throne at tremendous personal cost. I will say, like, we both gave this high marks. The opening, when Daemon shows up and Rhaenyra is just crying in bed like a petulant child, I almost turned it off and like, you know what, I'll come watch this later. Or I guess it's not the beginning, but my favorite thing is Rhaena taking Sheep Stealer to the Vale. And she's like, look, I'll protect you. And they're like, get out.
Yeah.
Which was a great part of the book too, because like she really tried to negotiate, like, I'll be your protector, because Vagar, like, because obviously Daemon was supposed to show up with Vagar. I did think that was interesting. Rhaenyra trying to telling Jace to get up, and she's like, Jace, get up. get up, Chase. And he's like, dude, he's dead. He's super dead.
Yeah,
So
I thought that was scene was good, but at the same time, it I think it went on a little too long
yeah,
for effect. It
and
was one of those things that is trying to pull at your heartstrings, and I get it. Just like I get why she was crying in bed, but again,
right.
you're supposed to be the queen. You want to be the queen on the Iron Throne.
I think the problem is the actress.
Mhm.
What the hell's her name? Emma Darcy. She is not a good enough actress to pull off the queen parts to make
Yeah,
the emotional parts more powerful because
I
she
yeah.
sure can pretend to cry. Sorry, I'll let you talk.
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right with that. It's she is the like that practice queen in the sense of not there yet. Like you have a couple stages to go before you have that queenly grace, and she's like almost cosplaying as that.
Mm,
Um, and that's what when I was talking last week about how she comes across as someone that is not deserve the crown. And like I said, I wasn't sure if that was just her acting, a choice of the writers and director, a little bit of both, or them, just kind of saying,
mhm,
well, she is what she is.
right.
So kind of let's kind of show what she can do well, which I think as a director sometimes if you're stuck, I won't say stuck, but if you
Mhm,
make a decision on a casting choice and you know they can't do X, Y, and Z, but they can do A and B, you want to highlight A and B because even if that takes away a little bit, it if you try to do if you make her try to be more queenly, it's just not going to come across as well as it should. Going back to season one, Millie Alcock had more queenliness about her, in those first 5 episodes
mhm,
than Darcy has shown.
right.
So, I mean, again, I don't think Darcy's a terrible actress. I'm not saying that, but
I don't think
she
so
doesn't
either. I just think she doesn't have the
the
regalness that it
she doesn't
takes
have
to
the
be
she doesn't have
the je ne sais quoi. There's something that the
the
French call an I don't
she
know
doesn't
what.
have
The penultimate, the blasphemy,
gra, gra.
recalcitrance.
I was just saying shit.
She doesn't have the quixotic nature of a queen. Oh, you mean the gravity? Go ahead, say it.
How dare you?
Go ahead, say it.
The gravitas.
The sausage and gravy. Anyway, no, it's but here's the thing: is like this episode had so much happening.
Man, did it.
You
Whew.
have Aemond, like essentially, like they can argue that he abdicated the throne to go to Harrenhal, right? And that's what Alicent uses to have Hannah or whatever. I can't remember her name.
Helena.
Helena, thank you. Go to the garden and be like, as your queen, I would love it if you would just drop your arms, please. I did think. Now I have been an Olivia Cook detractor since season one, since the second half of season one, and I will say I thought she did a great job this season or this episode.
Yeah, I
Like
think she's done.
you know, um, like especially like talking to the King's Guard or not the King, the Gold Cloaks and stuff like that, and they're like, please, sir, Bat's eyes. I'm just the pretty Dowager Queen. Would you mind not attacking the dragons as they come to take over King's Landing? I would be ever so grateful and ask Sir Kristen Cole about how my gratefulness is shown.
I mean, okay.
I mean, that's basically what she was doing. She was like giving them like "come hump me" eyes. Um, but yeah, I think that was good. I think we finally got to see Damon be a badass again. It's been a while.
Yeah, yeah. That
So
was
when he's just marching through the King's Landing, or not King's Landing, the Red Keep, and they're, he, what was it, like 8 guys squared off of against him, and he's like, he just threw his helmet down. He's like, I got this. I thought that was really cool.
and
Rhaenyra did the thing like with
uh,
the
I,
sword. I thought that was very important to her
yeah.
character.
But juxtapose what Damon did with
Yeah.
what Aemon does when he
Yeah.
goes to Harrenhal,
Right.
which is I like that, just looking at those two things, like where Damon just goes through trained soldiers,
Mm.
and then Aemon, you know, actually gets caught off guard by just this random,
Mhm.
like strong, because it was the Strongs, right? No, was it the Strongs?
Yeah.
Yeah, and just and basically he's at the mercy of, what is her name? Um,
Alice Rivers.
yeah.
Who
So
was who Damon had a thing with.
right,
So
yeah,
and then, like, not to spoil things, but like, Eamon gets it done. He doesn't need to be cuddled anymore. Only from the left side so he can see.
yeah,
But uh yeah, I just think, one, the dragons were cool, even though there wasn't like dragon fights in this. Um, Seeing Ulf in Orlais, no, not Orlais. Orlais was the maester. Hugh and Ulf, flying with them, and Damon just being completely like at his wits end with the two of them
yeah.
was great. The scene where Jasper Wilde tries to rape Alicent, I think they both handled that scene really well. I do like that it didn't happen, and that Jasper Wilde was arrested and then eventually, you know, met
Dude,
his end.
I'm seriously tired of my names getting dragged through the mud.
Dude, it just, you know, you, you're just catching strays left and right. You know why?
Man,
Everybody hates Jasper. Um, so I do think, and of course, like, knowing this was coming, and I don't think this is like a Ned Stark level, but like Otto Hightower becoming, you know, Otto Lowtower, what was, something that we knew was going to happen and everything, and it didn't have that same resonance as like when Ned Stark got beheaded,
oh no,
but it's
not even.
still
Yeah,
like, it's super important because they caught Alicent and Helena as they were trying to flee, and as Rhaenyra ascends the Iron Throne, she comes in, and she gets to see her dad's body there on the ground, as Rhaenyra looks really uncomfortable sitting in her dad's chair.
yeah,
So
yeah. This, I mean, like you said, there's so much going on in this
mhm.
episode, and they do it in a way. It could have been overwhelming or choppy, or just didn't flow right because they get so much in. But this is what the thing I love when good filmmaking, or making movies and TV shows, and people that know what they're doing behind the scenes, because this story, the way it unfolds, everything gets its time. Nothing feels rushed. Like so much, like all of this stuff is important and will play out later on. Like the actors did a good job, like very good job. Like as much as I complain about, as much as I think Darcy, like we've said before, is limited, that's like the look she has at the very end, and the she plays that part, like that not even just the very end, but just that whole ending scene with her and Damon and Hightower and all that. I mean, she play. I will give her flowers for that. I thought she, again, because that's her strength right there, like that vulnerability. Like she doesn't have the strength yet, at least what I've seen, of being that majestic queen who's in control. But man, I mean, she played her role well. So I really enjoyed this episode. This I don't. This is one of my favorite episodes of this series.
Oh yeah.
Like it was very well done.
And the other thing to think about too is we had Corliss is found, and he offers to legitimize Alan, and then we figure out how Aegon and Laris escape the clutches of the evil blacks.
Yes.
So
Yeah, just basically happenstance of the like the Triarchy pirates are just running roughshod over the land, and it's
Right.
like, oh,
right, yeah,
okay, don't mind if I do take this opportunity to get out of here.
right, yeah. I'm damned if I do, I damned if I don't. So I'm just gonna get on up out of here. But yeah. All right, real quick. I made a mistake. This episode is not called The Queen's Gambit. It's called Queen's Landing, and it was directed by Claire Kleiner, and written by Sarah Hess.
I thought you were going to say Claire Clanker. I was like, that's racist.
Clankus. So anyway, all right. So out of 5, Otto Not So Hightower. What do you give this?
4.45 out of 5.
Yeah, it was a 4 or
Yeah,
5.
phenomenal. Phenomenal episode. Yeah. Phenomenal.
So, all right. Are you ready for the Saturday night's main event?
Yeah. So you know what I'm looking at right now?
The barrel of your gun. Like having to think about this movie for one more second.
I am looking at the beautiful, still as yet completely untouched box set of the Blu-ray box set of Smallville.
Nice.
And it looks so good right now. And I just looked at it to give me strength to talk about this movie.
Laura Vandervoot, the peak Supergirl.
Yeah. Yes. So, yes.
Anyway, all right. So, hold on. I gotta pull it up. I don't know why I don't have it up. Because it's on the Furious still. We are talking about Supergirl. Kara Zor-El, aka Supergirl, joins forces with an unlikely wannabe Inigo Montoya. Complete farce of a Lobo on an interstellar journey for vengeance, justice, and murder. It opened to 37,000. And it's sitting at 46. So, quick note on the Friday, it was 18 million, but that was Wednesday to Friday.
Dude, this movie.
It only did $10 million on Saturday, 7 on Sunday, 2. Now it did on Tuesday, it did 4.4 because of the $5 tickets. I'm like,
I was one of those.
Yeah. And then on Wednesday, it went back down to 2. So Monday was almost 3. So, I mean, it's 2.9. I mean, it wasn't like it was 2.909. But like, this is an unmitigated failure. They made no secrets about the fact that they spent over $100 million to market this movie with all the tie-ins and things like that. It's filled with inconsistencies. It's based off of Tom King's horrible Woman of Tomorrow. And here's the thing. They dropped the Woman of Tomorrow because they took out a lot of the Woman of Tomorrow stuff.
Stuff that actually worked, honestly.
I think it worked in the comic. I don't know if it worked on the big screen. And there's not a lot of the comic that worked, to be honest.
No, that's what I was saying. Like, the stuff that worked, I think it would work fine. Like, about revenge and how revenge is not right. Also, this was a dreary ass looking movie.
Yeah, it was very muddy. You didn't see a lot of the fighting. It was from little Ruthie Montoya, you killed my parents. Here's my sword, my father's sword. Please take it from me. Prepare to die. Um, did not need to be in the movie at all. Zero. Zero. Also, this is a retread of Guardians 3. Um, Only this time James Gunn had them like pick a lane and not do animal trafficking and and child
Yeah.
trafficking. They just did the child trafficking, which was also like just ripped off from Mad Max, Fury Road with the
Yeah.
wives. Cram,
Crim.
Krent, Krem.
Crim.
Um,
Crent. You're not
so
important enough to remember.
but I don't even know who you are. Um, Krem of the Yellow Hills, the leader of the Brigands. Even the name is forgetful. A group of space pirates and human traffickers, but they weren't trafficking humans, dipshits. The most forgettable and probably worst villain in modern superhero. Like, I would have rather seen what's his name as MODOK.
Oh my, that's
At least you'd remember it for how bad he looked.
yeah. That's absolutely true.
So this is you know, there's just a lot going on here that they're like, oh well, she's an anti-hero. No,
That's not Supergirl.
that's not Supergirl. And the whole Clark sees the good in everybody and I see the truth because I'm smarter and better. They completely changed her origin. She's now younger
Yes.
than Cal, even though she looks younger than Cal. She's older than Cal because her ship gets lost, and she was supposed to get to Earth. She leaves Krypton at the same time. She was supposed to get to Earth when Cal did, so she could help raise him. And obviously, she didn't show up until he's like 25, but she still looks 16 or 18 or whatever it was. They did Argo City, which, there are sometimes, like, she's from Argo City, but they gave Argo City the Candor treatment.
Right.
But then the whole, the soil turning to kryptonite is not how that happened. Like, the kryptonite came to Earth because it went through our radiation belt and it irradiated it and made it.
Yeah, that
So-
didn't make sense.
So there was that. Crack had kryptonite arrows. Crump, what's his name? Krem
Crim
had kryptonite arrows for some reason.
for reasons. You're right. Yeah.
And then for also reasons, the sun just, cured the kryptonite while the arrows were still in her. That was interesting. She forgot that she had X-ray vision. Sure, her power scaling was really off for her heat vision. I will say, I did, when she was like not being a total asshole, I did like Millie Alcock's portrayal. I think, unfortunately, the suit didn't fit her right, just like with Super Weenie.
Also, whoever is making these suits for these heroes, like, again, you might make costumes great in other genres, but this genre, you're not doing a good job.
Yeah. They leaned into the whole Kal-El was supposed to go to Earth and conquer instead of like doing the right thing and like making it where Lex like made that up.
Bold strategy, Cotton.
Yeah, let's see how it works for him. I still don't like David Corenswet as Superman, and I hated him as Superman in this. I hated him as Superman in this. And we disagree with this, and I understand.
Well, again, I like the two things I liked about this movie definitely were him and Lobo. Neither one of them needed to be in the movie. Like, they could have done more with Lobo. They didn't necessarily. I would say, no, I take that back. Having the flashback of her if you want to do the flashback, you do need Kal-El in there. But other than that, you really didn't need him. Also, how in the world do you make a dog unlikable?
He was unlikable in the first Superman movie.
Yeah, like I
Also,
mean, but
he's
they're
a
doubling
damsel
like
in a
they're
dress,
yeah, because
like in both
he is the
movies.
yeah. It's just I've never disliked an animal in a movie more than him since maybe Cujo.
If this was John Wick's dog, he'd been like, you know what, guys, I understand. Just take the car. Let's just like thank you for ridding me of this awful untrained animal.
Yeah, and this awful untrained animal. And I'll piggyback on what you said about in the moments where she's just not an ass. I actually think I will disagree with some people saying she was miscast. I think with the right material and the right people behind her, she would be a very good Supergirl
Yeah.
because she was a very good Rhaenyra. Again, going back to
Right.
that, when she
She's
was in
the
game
peak
Counter the
Rhaenyra.
Dragon. Yeah, that we both love.
Yeah.
I really like the moment where she kind of opens up about what happened, even though I didn't like the whole Argo City thing, like that plot point, like her talking about it. It's the first time she comes across as genuine and someone you can have empathy for, or sympathize with, or say, or you look at her as a person, not just an ass. But again,
Yeah.
when you
Now,
have a character blatantly murder someone and
yeah.
you're supposed to be not kill someone, not kill someone,
Right.
because again, you can argue in the heat of battle that happens. Yes, I understand the whole Man of Steel argument where you know Superman kills Zod,
Hmm.
and people say, "Oh, yeah, he could have found another way. That's fine." But he kills Zod for just a nameless family. No, well, you knuckleheads, he didn't do it for that one family. It was
Right.
because of what Zod said he was going to do. But I can understand when people didn't like that. I am not going to argue with that.
Yeah.
That was in the heat of the battle.
Yeah.
That wasn't Zod being down and beaten and powerless to stop you.
Right.
She absolutely, and again,
Oh, it's
regardless of
murder.
what you yeah,
Murder, Sam. It
regardless of
was
what you
murder.
think of the guy, of the character, I don't care. That's the difference where heroes are greater than are they're supposed to be greater
Hmm.
than the regular person. Then that's why that's why they're heroes. That's why we aspire to be like them. That's how they're posited. But we know that certain writers don't want can't stand don't like heroes or superheroes,
Right.
and or B, don't understand them. Don't understand how someone can have someone like Krim down and helpless and not kill him,
Hmm.
which says more about those people than it does about us who look at these heroes and say that's not a superhero action.
Yeah.
And
No. Yeah.
I will say there are moments in this movie, like there could have been a good movie in here, but also you have to say, why in the hell would you give a movie like this to a person that has quite literally one writing credit to their
Right.
name?
Right.
Why?
I don't know. I know not is the way that I can say
I have
that.
no idea. So
It's because it's the Marvel way, and James
yeah,
Gunn learned at the teat of Kevin Feige, and it's just one of those things that without without that guidance, yeah, the killing at the end is unnecessary. I I told you, like I don't know if I said it on the podcast, but I know we've talked about this a couple times. The way they should have done this movie is this Batman Superman apocalypse, where Darkseid kidnaps Kara before she makes it to Earth. That would have been really cool. Unfortunately, it would have predicated like you could have done that without Superman or Batman too. But it would have predicated Superman knowing how to speak Kryptonian, which this dork didn't.
That was very dumb.
It was, oh, I never learned how to speak it because I've been totally nerfed as a dork.
That I will say that part right there had
Yeah.
me rolling my eyes. You're like, I mean, granted, I had known that was going to happen because I
Yeah.
saw like a clip
See,
of
I
it,
didn't. So
but
I was like, I audibly, like, I was like, oh.
yeah, yeah, way to make, like you said, way to make your guy look like an idiot.
Well,
So
here's the,
all these robots
yeah.
he has,
Oh, yeah.
and he didn't decide to say, hey, you know what? Let me learn my own the language that he listens to when
Hmm.
he listens to his parents' message. He decide not to learn it.
Right.
Are you kidding me?
Super weenie.
It's not even that.
I
It's just an
also,
assassination of the character.
yeah, I also loved the fact that she's like, I have zero connection to Earth, yet Earth bands, listening to Earth music, somehow playing Earth music in jukeboxes on other planets.
Make that make sense.
Make it make sense. Well, we do send radio waves out into space.
I mean, yeah.
So now the hundreds to thousands of years that it would take to get there. Okay. But yeah. So just going through the list. So of the cast. And it's a small cast, but so Millie Alcock is Kara Zor-El. Yes, needs to be in the movie. She's the titular character. Matthias Schoenaradis. I don't even know. I hope I said your name wrong because you fucking sucked in this movie. Crack of the Yellow Farts does not need to be in this movie. Eve Ridley as Ruthie Marie Knoll, aka Timu Inigo Montoya, does not need to be in this movie. David Krumholtz as Zor-El, yes. Emily Bachman as Alora Nz, yes. David Corenswet, no. Jason Momoa, no. Like, why? And not once does he call himself the main man.
Yeah.
Like,
I did like him
I
in
know
this,
you did.
but
I know.
but again, like you said, there
He looked like retired Lobo.
dude, no. This right here. He's watching her at the end. If you want to kill Krim, why don't you just have him do it?
Yeah. She could have just
Lobo's
been like, she'd been like, oh boy.
Yeah. Or like her walk away
Yeah.
and then Lobo just decide, oh, you know what? Maybe I can get a bounty for you too, buddy.
Right.
It's problem solved.
And here's how you end that is he goes, hey, Ditz, and then kills him. Right? He's like, oh, it's the Ditz with the bar. Oh, it's funny. I thought that was you. Touche.
I will say I did like her reaction when she realized it was Lobo. She was like, don't make yourself know.
That was the stuff that she was really good at.
Yeah.
So don't make eye contact. Don't
Yeah,
engage.
He's an immortal that killed his whole race.
Yeah, he's a demigod. And then what does Inigo do? Walks right up to him. You could have my sword, sir.
I want to drop kick her in her teeth.
I just wanted to steal her sword and hide it.
My biggest eye roll moment was when she killed the guard.
Oh, right. Because she's been helpless the entire movie, and all of a sudden, like, oh wait, look at all these martial arts moves.
And she kills a guy that's literally 3 times her size.
Yeah. To be fair, though, it was on a poison spike.
I mean, there's no to be fair. It's
look. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. Anyway, all right. Let's. I've had enough.
Let's end this.
I'm done.
Yes,
This is done. Okay, so out of 10, Timu Guardians of the Galaxy or Will Poulter's Supergirl, you decide.
4 out of 10. It's a bad movie. Millie Alcock, I mean, you say what you will about, some of her stuff off the runway and, some of the stuff she's being probably programmed to. But I think there's a good Supergirl in there.
I do,
just
too,
not in this movie. Like, I think she can be a good, really, really good Supergirl.
I think, she's getting a lot of, like, Rachel Zegler comparisons. And, I don't think she looks like the feral kid from Mad Max 2.
No, I think that's dumb. I don't like when people like just
Right.
stop it,
She
people.
definitely, her and Will Poulter look like they're related.
She now,
So
yes,
anyway,
yes,
and you can't unsee that.
I agree with that.
But
Yeah,
like, okay, so there's that. But as far as like the Rachel Ziegler comparisons, I think Millie Alcock is really dumb. She's just a dumb person, and she doesn't actually know what she's saying, and she's trying to like be edgy for some odd reason, and it just doesn't work for her. She would be.
she might not have an internal monologue as
That's
we've
true,
been.
and
I mean,
I don't think she has people around her that protect her.
I don't think so either. I really don't think so. And
I
that's
just
yeah,
you
I
know
don't think so. Because I've seen interviews with her and like she seems like a like I mean, I just like smiling and laughing at like watching it, not in the sense of making fun of her, but
yeah.
it's just like, she just has that energy. But at the same time, I like you said, and that's the biggest thing. I don't think there's people out there watching out for her.
No. I mean, she has a boyfriend, some guy named Joe Powell, who's a London based chef who runs like a concept restaurant. Um, Dude, look out for your girl. Like,
Yeah.
like help her. Like, I'm not saying like tell her what to say or anything like that, but like help her be successful because she is a good actress. She can be a good Supergirl if like,
Hmm.
unfortunately, here's the problem with this. Like with the Snyderverse, now with the Guntastrophe, they've run through a ton of actors that are really good in the roles, and they're just
Yeah.
burned now. You can't bring Gal Gadot back as Wonder Woman.
I mean, you can.
You can, but like I don't know. This is not like I'm shocked. We're recording this on Thursday, July 2nd at 10:02 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm shocked that James Gunn still has a job at DC Studios.
Yeah.
So I'm shocked that Man of Tomorrow hasn't been just outright canceled. I'm shocked that they're like, you know what, we're not going to release Clayface now because it just none of this makes sense. None of it makes
It
sense.
doesn't. So we're watching a cooking show, and one of the things the chef said was, "I'm not going to compromise if people don't understand what I'm doing with my cooking."
Right.
And that's such an arrogance. And I even said after this cook said that, I was like, that's like saying, me saying writing a story, and it's and people not liking it. It's like you just don't understand it. But more importantly, I said that's like James Gunn taking all these weird random characters and saying, I love these characters. Let's do this for the DCU. You're telling me you have a freaking Clayface movie coming out before a Batman or a Wonder Woman movie?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I mean,
No.
that's all I have to say about that. That's all I
Right.
have to say about that.
It's just like they can't get the main characters right. Like it's not the time to come out with Creature Commandos, Peacemaker, Super Weenie, Drunky Girl. This is not the way to go.
No, no, Superman was the way to go.
Well, it was,
What
but it
you
wasn't
what you
Superman. It was
gave
Super
us,
Weenie.
what you gave us was not the way to go.
No, this is not the way. No,
No,
this is a you know. I gave it a 4.3. By the way, I took a whole point off while we were talking about this. It's just I was getting mad. I just like, oh my god, you're right. Um, Haley liked it, but
yeah,
she was like, it's like, what's your favorite part? The dog. It's like you're 18. Your favorite part should not be the dog.
yeah. The dog's
Like,
an
look,
asshole
I
anyway.
get it when we went and saw Captain Marvel and we thought that was going to be something, right? That it was going to tie
Right.
into the greater MCU. And it's like, oh, what was your favorite part? Oh, I love Goose, the cat.
I mean, Goose was all fucking awesome.
I mean, it was the only good part of the movie anyway.
Yes.
But yeah, so here's the thing. I do think that like this is not a career ender for her. I think the box office stigma is going to sit with her for a long time. And she's going to have to do something
And
really cool.
right, and again, I mean, that's one, that's not fair, but two, that's how it is.
Right.
It's not her fault that this movie was just trash.
Right.
It's James Gunn, 1, 2, and 3. That's the fault of who this direct. And going back to your point that it's 10:05 and he still has a job. It's 3 minutes later and he still has a job.
Right.
That's a problem, because he should. Again, like I said, I've liked several of his films, the Guardians movies, for the most part. You go back to some of his other older ones, but he has a style. And we said the very beginning, couple years ago, this is not the guy to do Superman. I don't necessarily trust this guy as far as being head of the DCEU.
Right.
We both said that on this podcast multiple times.
Right. Right.
And this is why. This is exactly why we said that.
Yeah.
That's all. I mean, that's all. I don't have anything else, man.
Yeah. No, I hear you. All right. You got anything else?
Nope.
You want to kick some puppies while you're at it? Talk about.
Yeah,
I don't
kick
know.
a crypto while we're on the Red Sun.
Just give him the Baby Yoda treatment. Stick him in a satchel and just. Yeah, he's not gonna have powers. I don't know. I just thought it was the fact that he kidnapped it and then wore the amulet of the antidote.
Let's just move on, please.
Okay.
Let's just end it, because I'm just gonna get more upset.
All right. So next week we're gonna talk about X-Men 97 season
yes.
2.
Yes.
We're gonna talk about Young Washington.
Young Washington.
The George Washington movie that comes out this weekend.
Where does it come out at?
Everywhere. On 3,000 screens.
I did not know that.
It's Angel Studios. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
Revolutionary War, baby. Let's go.
I don't think I realized it was coming out now.
Yeah,
but I remember seeing the trailer and I want to see this.
We're gonna go on Sunday, I think. So I have a lot of cooking to do on Saturday. So
okay.
And I don't think the stores are open, so I got a lot of shopping to do tomorrow. I'm making burgers and hot dogs, obviously, and then I'm gonna make potato salad, but it's just potatoes, eggs, and bacon. And then instead of mayonnaise, it's Greek yogurt and Dijon mustard.
Oh, I thought you said instead of mayonnaise, it was going to be grease.
Bacon grease. Ugh, that'd be delicious. I'm not going to lie. And then I'm going to make a chocolate bark, but it's going to be red, white, and blue. So it's going to be a chocolate bark with a white chocolate swirl and maraschino cherries and blueberries and toasted walnuts.
That's not Bobby Flay over here.
Dude, I am a master chef.
Sure.
I think. Anyway. All right. On that note, we will be back next week. Any last words?
No.
Okay. Well, we will talk to you later. And remember, be infamous. The Infamous Podcast is recorded in Kings Mills, Ohio, just north of Cincinnati. You can find new episodes every Sunday on Apple Podcast, YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcast, our website, or anywhere podcasts are downloaded. This show is hosted by Darryl Jasper and me, Brian Tudor. To find more information about the show, visit us at infamouspodcast.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Infamous Podcast to keep up with the show. We also have a Patreon page, patreon.com/infamouspodcast. We have some great rewards for our patrons and are looking for help to grow the show to bring you more of the content you want to hear. Music for this podcast is provided by Michael Henry from meetmichaelhenry.com. So, whenever you're listening to us, have a great day, night, evening, weekend, whenever it is, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.